Hey, what's up everyone? Jamie here from CLA, Community Learning Alternatives, and it's Motivation Monday, where we feature guidance, insight, and information on personal productivity, self-development, and everyday positivity. Mondays don't suck. They're an opportunity to start fresh and get things done. At CLA, we believe that a major part of positive self-development is lifelong learning. Now more than ever, thanks to the internet, learning is easier and more convenient. We can now take incredible courses online, and we can even learn from our smartphone or tablet. Today sees the launch of a free app from the people at Crash Course, available now for Apple and Android phones and tablets. If you're not familiar with Crash Course, it's an educational YouTube channel created by John and Hank Green and friends, and they teach you all kinds of subjects from world history to astronomy, literature to psychology, and everything in between. The app is a portal to find all of their thousands of videos and a platform to help you review what you've learned in those videos. Let's let John Green himself make the announcement and tell us more.
Hi, John Green here. So at Crash Course, we've spent over 8 years teaching you everything from engineering and computer science to psychology, economics, astronomy, and of course history. And we hope that those videos will not just help you pass tests, but better understand yourself and your place in the universe. And we're pretty happy here in our little corner of the internet with our 10 to 15 minute educational videos, but also we're always looking for ways to expand Crash Course's mission, which is to bring free educational content to people everywhere. And that's why today I am so excited to announce that we are launching the Crash Course app. It's available for download right now in your app store of choice, and it's free. The Crash Course app is a portal for finding and watching all 1,200 of our videos, but we've also been working on some extra materials to help you learn better from those videos. At the heart of the app are decks, which are essentially flashcards, but not just any flashcards. They're the world's most beautiful flashcards, illustrated by our friends at Thought Cafe. We've brought back our expert consultants and writers from previous series to point out what they think are the most critical pieces of information in each of our videos, so that right after you've finished watching one, you can check what you've learned. And if you're studying and want even more practice than that, or if you want some sweet dopamine boosts from answering trivia questions correctly, we also made a quiz mode. In quiz mode, our flashcards turn into multiple choice questions, each with a large pool of answers that our consultants have written. Now, making and writing these decks takes a lot of time and resources, so we're starting off small with just a few courses. Decks for every episode of Crash Course Chemistry and Crash Course Anatomy and Physiology are now available, and we'll be releasing decks for Crash Course Organic Chemistry with each new episode. Also, as a bonus for you organic chemistry fans, we'll be including a ton of new content to help you practice the reactions that you've learned. And I will be practicing those reactions with you because I know nothing about organic chemistry, but I'm gonna try to learn through Crash Course and through the app. I'm pretty excited, actually. So like I said, here at Crash Course, our mission is to provide free educational content for everyone. And this app extends that mission because it is all completely free. Really, if you like the app and find it helpful, you can make donations through it, but you don't have to. 100% of the content is free. This app has been a big, scary project for us, but we hope it's the start of a new way to learn with Crash Course. And it really is just the start. We'll be continually adding new decks to the app and hopefully, maybe eventually, adding other fun ways to help you learn. Let's just say that we believe 2020 needs a new Oregon Trail. The game, that is. In real life, I find cars to be significantly more effective than covered wagons. Also, I don't want to die of dysentery. But for now, we're starting with the Crash Course app. So if you have a phone or tablet, please download the app, which is available for Android devices on the Google Play Store and Apple devices at the App Store, and let us know what you think. Thanks, as always, for learning and experimenting with us, and as they say in my hometown, don't forget to be awesome.
Online classes can be great. They provide more time to do the things you enjoy, and a flexible schedule allows you to plan your work and studies accordingly. But despite those rewards, online learning is demanding and has its own particular challenges. Most of the difficulties have to do with your level of discipline and the quality of your routines. But all of these can be slowly improved if you follow the right steps. Mariana tells us more from her study corner.
The first tip is ridiculously simple, and it's just treating an online course like a real course, by relying on strict routines and task lists. You have to be disciplined enough to be able to get into a focused mode and work solely on your class assignments without distractions. Since your online classes will rely on using devices, embracing a distraction-free environment will demand more than just plugging in your earphones and closing the door. Installing app blocking software on your computer or tablet is a good way to make sure you're not giving in to distractions during study time. Hiding icons for video games or other platforms in a folder, blocking banner notifications, and silencing your device are also foolproof ways to forget about distractions. After programming your devices to transform into productivity machines, make the best use of the software available to you. Rely on freeware like OneNote to take the best possible class notes. The secret here is using simplified language, relying on a strict color coding scheme and formatting scheme, and making sure to incorporate voice files, PDF documents, and other resources that are relevant to your topic and allow you to consolidate the learning material. The good thing about learning to take your notes in digital format is that it allows you to easily share them with your learning peers or ask feedback from your lecturer. I have a couple of OneNote videos where I show you my tips and tricks on how to take the best possible notes for classes, which I will link in the description box below. Split screen will be your new best friend. Either use Windows, where that functionality is automatically available, or do it manually or through third-party apps on your Mac. Having access to multiple apps at a time will boost how much you can do and glance at the same time. Tracking your tasks with your digital calendar while having your online classroom webpage open in a corner and taking notes using half the screen will give you a panoramic view of your work and help you type down small notes, questions, or reminders while you engage in your coursework. Be ready to prepare and devote extra time to your lessons. The dynamics of online classes rely a lot on reading provided materials, taking notes accordingly, and essentially taking a lot of information that would otherwise be toned down in presential lessons. This extra workload will force you to adapt to a different learning routine and to pay more attention to details, secondary resources of information, and learning materials, including visual aids. What will help you manage this is being able to carefully catalog all of these materials in an organized digital folder and index their titles, contents, and dates of assignment in the note-taking software of your preference. You'll have to rethink your summarizing and consolidating techniques. And that's because an overabundance of materials and information will require constant cross-checking of facts, definitions, and other details. Just forget about typing down long paragraphs and using complicated language during note-taking sessions, because never in your life it has been more important to create study guides. That is, summaries of consolidated information where you're able to jot down everything you've learned in a shortened format. Each summary should correspond to a chapter, and develop on or at least mention every single topic mentioned so far during your lessons. Creating a study guide in digital format can be very different from doing so in paper, so to help you create effective and interesting study materials, I'll be uploading a tutorial on how I create them using OneNote. Learn to be equally strict with your schedule. The lack of physical boundaries between your house and your school will blur the lines between leisure and work. A good way to create invisible but equally effective boundaries is using the calendar blocking technique by following these simple steps. Start by incorporating the time and duration of your online classes into your schedule. Create your own study sessions around your lessons, which should include half-hour to 1-hour blocks to prepare for a lesson, as well as half-hour to 1-hour blocks to review a lesson after it occurs. Block an entire morning or afternoon of your choice to create a weekly study session where you should read the study guides or summaries of all lectured material so far. This should give you an idea of the start and end time of your online learning schedule. Limit in your calendar when you should enter study mode and when we should leave study mode, and create an alarm in your phone to be alerted to those particular hours. After you set these basic time blocks in your calendar, feel free to go nuts and assign a specific time to work out, read, watch your favorite shows, or simply hang out with your family. You'll be surprised of how much you can fit into 24 hours while still ensuring full 8 hours of sleep. prepare ahead for classes, and make a ritual out of logging in early. I suggest you to get familiar with the virtual classroom software tool and looking at the tools available to you, like private chatting, community notes, or the possibility to record the class. Also, just memorize in your brain where the mute button is, because that may save your life from incredibly embarrassing situations. Don't be afraid to go beyond listening to your lectures and get engaged by participating in your classes and contacting other classmates through virtual study groups where you can share questions and ideas as well as share study materials. Slack is a great place to do this since you can easily chat with multiple members as well as share files and create specific channels inside your main workspace. And whenever you have trouble practicing time management, remember you should be treating studying like a full-time job. Show up, schedule in your assignments, tasks, and assessments in an organized way, share your knowledge and notes, and set daily goals and task lists like your boss was looking over your shoulder and supervising your work. This change in mindset will be more important to your long-term success than incorporating all the study hacks you can find online into your study routine.
Up next, productivity expert David Allen, author of the best-selling book Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity, gives us another 2-minute tip for turbulent times. Today, what's your current reality and how do you feel?
This tip is going to be one of several tips that will start with current reality. You know, we need to make sure that we're really clear about what's true in space and time right now. Even if we have a positive direction, we need to know where we are so we know whether to go left or right from where we are. But we need to start with where we are and not necessarily resist whatever the current reality is. You've got to start from a real base. And this one might be a little challenging, but this is one I call current reality. How do you feel? What are the feelings going on? What's the emotional state that you're in? Not that you should necessarily reinforce that or spin in that, or think that that's a good thing, to be worried, to be afraid, to be confused. Those are common kinds of emotions that we have oftentimes in turbulent times. But you need to acknowledge that you've got it. You don't want to repress it. You don't want to stuff it down. And, you know, the environment around you, certainly people that are close to you, will know whether or not that you're really true to yourself in terms of, hey, here's what I'm feeling right now. But the way out is through. You don't try to get past that by ignoring it or stuffing it down and not acknowledging it. Not that you should stay in it, but you need to acknowledge where you are. And once you do that, it becomes a lot easier to sort of grab yourself by your own bootstraps emotionally and say, okay, how would I now like to feel? What could I do that might move me toward a more positive emotional state and energy state? People often think getting things done and the GTD methodology doesn't deal with emotions. It actually does. You have to deal with what's the current reality that you're in. And the current reality may be, I feel like this, and I'd like to feel like that. That's a great place to start. Sometimes a little challenging, but it's my tip for the turbulent times.
That's all for Motivation Monday. If you have any questions about anything we've covered during one of our videos or have any suggestions, please leave a comment below. The links for the full-length videos for all the clips we've shown today are below in the description. And check out What the Tech Wednesday each week. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back next Motivation Monday. Thanks for watching.